Hey guys, and welcome to the WTFarm Girl channel. It is almost hay season 2019 for us. Our hay is ready to cut, so we need to get back there and get it done. But first, I have to go through and make sure my machines are up to the task. So we need to go through and grease everything and check all the fluids. We also don't want to forget to check our tires to make sure both the tires are well aired and that they're well greased. Now, if you've ever seen me try to use a grease gun, a traditional grease gun, yeah, it's pretty awkward and my hands are just a little bit too small. So I know a lot of the professional farms, use electric grease guns. So Eric bought one for me. Yay! Phew! It's really starting to heat up out here really quickly. Man, I might just have to go wash the tractor and throw that in the video too. Oh wait, I haven't shaved my legs yet today. Maybe I shouldn't. But that's why they make jeans. Okay, time to try out the new DeWalt grease gun. So first impression on this, it is really big and really heavy. So if you're doing something up high and you're a person of my size and stature, it might be a little tricky. But alternative is fighting with a grease gun that you can barely reach with your hands anyway. So I don't know, maybe you can make a sling for this to carry it. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. I have not tried this yet. I don't think Eric's tried it. He did pre-load it with some grease. So that was nice. Thank you, Eric. Saved me about 20 minutes of fighting with a grease can. So we're going to start with our hay mower conditioner here. I still am missing my PTO end. Hopefully this weekend we'll get that. I think it's well worth pointing out that I went back to get something out of the case. And guess what I found? A padded carrying strap. No joke. So they already read my mind before I could even go to make something like that. They already know that you probably don't want to carry this beast around, so they give you a padded carrying strap. Thank you, DeWalt. I know this is not sponsored by them at all. This just happens to be a product that we picked up because the price was right. So let's see, there's a U-joint there and another U-joint there. So let's go ahead and cap that. So please note that that is not a greaser. That is actually a filling cap. It's a drain plug down there. So we're gonna have to drain this and refill it before this is gonna be good to go. This is a critical part in the equipment that would be very expensive to replace. So you wanna make sure that you have the right oil inside of these. I'm gonna look it up in the manual. It's why it's so important to have the right manual. You can't just guess and pour whatever into these things because you could end up doing damage down the road. So if you don't have a manual for your equipment, get a manual. It'll save you time and money down the road. We're gonna have to come back to that guy later, maybe. Yeah, let's get the rest of this opened up. Most of your tractor equipment out here in Michigan, your hay equipment is gonna look like this. Or 10 times worse. So, a lot of the old timers say, the more grease the better. Grease isn't gonna hurt anything. The problem with grease is that it builds up a lot of dust and a lot of dirt, which can interfere with some operations. So here is another unit that's probably gonna have some oil in it. So we're gonna need to take a look at this guy right here. You see how he's a big block? Usually they have oil or some sort of fluid in them. So we're gonna go ahead and check the manual a little bit later just to be sure. couple of key things to notice is right here, we have some, looks like oil. This is not grease from the grease gun. This is like an oil. So that means this thing right here might be leaking. Keeping it full and keeping checks on the levels is probably gonna be adequate for us. All right, so on this side, we only had one more, and it was right here. So the next step, we have a belt. This is belt driven. And then we have a chain. We have a whole list of products. For the chain, usually I use a chain lubricant, which it appears Eric may have used up on the motorcycles, dirt bikes, whatever he's been using it on. I don't know, bikes. So there is no chain lubricant unless he hid it somewhere else. So I went and actually stole his motorcycle lubricant. Yeah. Don't tell Eric. But anyway, it's going for a much greater purpose because this hay bine's actually worth more than his little motorcycle, which he bought. It's a little dirt bike motorcycle thing. So I think this kind of deserves a little more TLC than his thing in the barn. So we're gonna go ahead and use it on there. And honestly, that should keep it good for at least a year or two. All right, so we got the chain degreased as best as I can. The best way to actually degrease any chain is to just pop it off and then soak it in something like mineral spirits. But to take the chain off, you kind of have to take the belt off too. So we'll leave that on. It makes it a lot easier for me. You can see that it's just a little bit rusty. So that's just from all the grease coming off from it. We're gonna go through and we're actually gonna put some of this stuff on. I figure if this is good for motorcycles and chain driven two-wheeled bikes, then nothing but the best for my baby girl. Oh, another thing we need to do too is I want to get these guys greased. Now, I don't think it really says, I mean, back when these manuals were written, they didn't have a whole lot of greasing options. You had oil and you had grease, and that was it. So this is listed as a part that needs to be oiled. Well, obviously now we've got a whole different options for oil. So I think, I'm not sure if I want to go with a silicone spray on this one. It says a waterproof stops rust and lubricates, ultra slippery non-stick coating repels moisture, protects life of metal and non-metal surfaces, clear wet film creates protective barrier. I honestly think this is something I'm going to have to do when it's running. I don't know that I can reach everything with a spray can. I'm just going to kind of... Okay, so the manual suggested a wide range of oils, but SAE 80-90 was on its list of recommended oils. So that's what I had actually bought 2 years ago, and that's what we're using today. I have two bottles. This is my pouring bottle, aka my refill bottle. And this is my big jug that I bought a couple years ago. Yep, I think. There we go. Watch your arm on the shield. If you're wearing short sleeves, because you don't want to slice your arm on rusty metal, because that would suck. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm just checking the level right now. So this is the level nut. And this is easy maintenance that any person can do. You could have your 12-year-old do it, as long as you trust them. I wasn't expecting it to like spit the oil out. It's not supposed to be that full, which might be why it's leaking. But on the other hand, at least we know we didn't lose a whole lot with this thing leaking. Alright, so I have an empty vinegar bottle. These work great for everything. They have a cap that goes back on, hard to lose. It doesn't fit under it, so I gotta hold it with my legs. And I know you're wondering if I'm gonna get grease in my hair, and the answer is yes. Yes, I probably will. Even if I pull it back in a ponytail, it still gets covered in grease. Facts of farm life. If you're not dirty, you're not working hard enough. Good and tight. Alright, so we got that done. So next we have to check the knife gearbox, which is right back there. Usually it works better if this is not in tow mode, but that's kind of why Eric has me do these things, because I can squeeze in there and he can't. Well, that's no good. The whole thing is empty. So I'm not sure why that's dry. That's really bad. That should be completely, well, it should be a couple inches full. It's not. So that means that we're gonna have to fill that thing up. Good thing we checked it. The way they measure it out says 2.5 to 3.5 inches from the top of your fill plug, which would be the hole right there, the one that we just took off. This lovely, nice, stiff blade of grass will be my measuring tool. Let's see? That is gonna be my dipstick. Disposable. Environmentally friendly too. So we will just stick him in like so. And there are gears in here, so you can't get an exact measurement, but so you can see that he has maybe just like a hair a bit, and we'll keep checking with him. Okay, so we're right about 3.5 inches. This is the top. This is about where the grease is. So 1, 2, 3. We'll consider that good. The only area that I see grease is right on the top. So maybe it was overfilled and it all boiled out the top. I don't know. So this concludes the video on greasing up your John Deere Mower Conditioner, otherwise known as a MoCo. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more maintenance videos. We still have to do the hay rake and the tedder and the tractor and the baler. Oh my. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more mundane and exciting videos, depending on what's happening. So, love you guys. Hope you have a great weekend, and if you're making hay, best of luck to you guys. Take care.